Hello viewers, this is Not Too Fast here. In today's video, I'll show you the world's best dashcam. This one here is made by the company 70mi and it's the model 4K Omni and it's packed with all the features you want in a car dash camera. The front camera on this records in 4K resolution and it can pan left and right 340 degrees. It has excellent daytime and nighttime video recording. It doesn't matter what lighting condition, you can clearly read the license plates in front of you. And if you install the optional 4G Cellular Hardwire Kit, you can do remote monitoring of your vehicle using the 4G cell service. The parking mode recording on this dashcam uses AI to detect anyone in front of the vehicle and it'll track and follow the person left or right. Now in this video, I'll do my best to go over all the features, so the video is a bit longer than usual, but definitely watch till the end so you can see how this dashcam performs. Let's get started. Right here is the 70mi 4K Omni dashcam. Now for this review, I also have the 70mi 4G Hardwire Kit along with the 70mi Hardwire Kit itself. At the bottom here is the Polarizer Lens for this 4K Omni dashcam. I'll first unbox the dashcam to show you what comes with it. And right here is the 70mi 4K Omni dashcam. This is the rear camera. Rear camera cable, plastic pry tool, USB power cable, cigarette lighter power adapter. This dashcam also comes with a 128GB micro SD memory card, windshield plastic screen for the front camera and the rear camera, couple additional double-sided tape for the dashcam. Right here is the rear camera user manual, and the dashcam user manual. Here's a look at everything you get with this dashcam. Let's have a closer look at this 70mi 4K Omni dashcam. Right here is the ventilation. Below that is the front camera. This camera records in 4K 3840 by 2160 at 60 frames per second. Now if you connect the rear camera to this dashcam, then the front 4K resolution will drop to 30 frames per second. The viewing angle of this camera is 146 degrees, and this dashcam uses a Starvis 2 IMX678 image sensor. It also features HDR and night vision recording. Now with this camera, it does pan left and right 340 degrees, and with a wide angle lens, this dashcam will give you 360 degrees coverage. Right here in the middle is the LED indicator ring. Looking on this side, there's a power button and the up and down select. On the back right here is a color LCD display. Above that is the microphone. At the bottom here is the speaker. On this side, if you open up this cover, this is where you install the micro SD memory card. Now this dashcam supports up to 512GB memory size. Now the very top here, this connector is for connecting to the rear camera, and over here is a connector for connecting to the power cable. Looking at the top, right here is a windshield mount. If you turn this clockwise, you can remove this. So after you install this onto the windshield, you can easily remove this if you want to. Now if you need to adjust the angle of the camera, you can actually tilt this. Right here is a memory card that's included. I'm going to go ahead and install this. To power the dashcam, connect the USB-C power cable to the power input port on the dashcam. This 4K Omni dashcam has a supercapacitor and allows it to operate in more extreme temperature. The operating temperature is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, or 14 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This dashcam also supports Wi-Fi 6, 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz, so you can connect this to a mobile app. Right here is a rear camera. The resolution is Full HD 1920 by 1080p, and the viewing angle of this camera is 130 degrees. You can install this on the back window using the double-sided tape. After you install it, you can adjust the angle by rotating this camera. On the side of the camera, you have this cable that goes to this connector you see right here. You need to connect this to the rear camera cable. On the other end of the cable, you have this connector, and you need to plug this into this connector on the dashcam. Now I'm going to power on the dashcam.
Hello, I am Max. Please use 70mi app to bind the device.
In Google Play Store or Apple App Store, install the app 70mi. Now open up the app. If this is your first time using the app, create an account. Now add a device. Using Bluetooth, it'll start scanning nearby devices. Now at this time, press the power button on the Dashcam. And the Dashcam's added. Next, you need to connect to the Dashcam using hotspot. Select your region. There's a beginner tutorial. You can select Start Now at the bottom. The top screen is showing you the live view of the Dashcam. You can select the circle icon to switch to the rear camera view. Select Next. Here's a list of all the voice commands you can use. To go into the settings of the Dashcam, select Settings here. First menu item is Video Encoding Format. By default, it's set to high compression. With a high compression, is able to save the video files more efficiently. Video resolution, by default, is 3840 by 2160. Video clip duration, this is a loop recording time. By default, set to 1 minute. So the way this Dashcam record is once you start the ignition, the Dashcam will record continuously with a series of 1 minute video clips. Once the memory card is full, you'll start overwriting the oldest file. If you want, you can change the video clip duration to 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I'm going to leave it in 1 minute. Speed watermark, by default, is on. So the video clip that's being recorded will have the speed that you're traveling at. The coordinate watermark, by default, is on. 70mi logo is also on. Mirroring and rotation. This setting is for the rear camera. So depending on how you install the rear camera, right side up, upside down, you can flip the recording image in this setting here. Live view is available upon power on, by default is on. Right here is a PTZ presetting, or pan, tilt, and zoom setting. Start position of the rotating lens. Here you can set a default position for the lens using the arrow key here. I can adjust the angle. Parking position of the rotating lens. Here you can set the default position of the lens during parking mode. Sentinel mode. This is a parking mode recording. Now after you install the Hardwire Kit to power the Dashcam when the ignition is off, you can go into this setting here and turn on the collision detection, motion detection, and time-lapse recording. Next, emergency video. This will set the sensitivity of the G sensor in the Dashcam. So when the Dashcam detects an impact to the vehicle during a collision, it will automatically save it as an emergency video. By default, the sensitivity of the G sensor is set to medium. You can change it to ultra high, high, low, or ultra low. ADAS. This is a driving assistant. By default, it's disabled. Voice control, by default, is on. Driver fatigue reminder. This will alert you if you've been driving for a long period of time to make sure you're not falling asleep. Record audio, by default, is off. I'm going to turn this on. System settings. The screen standby mode, by default, is set to clock. You can set it to MyX animation screensaver, turn off a screen, or always on. Wi-Fi hotspot settings. The default password on this Dashcam is 12345678. And by default, the Wi-Fi frequency is using 5 GHz. You can select 2.4 GHz if you want. Speed unit by default is set to miles per hour. You can also set it to kilometers per hour. Positioning status. Here will show you the GPS satellite lock. About will show you the firmware version of the Dashcam. Now if there's a new firmware, the app will let you know, and then you can push a new software onto the Dashcam using this app. At the bottom, you can format the microSD memory card. And you can also do a factory reset at the bottom here. So those are all the settings available on the Dashcam. On the side of the Dashcam, you can also use these buttons to go into the settings. I'm going to press the down arrow button. Here you can turn on and off the Wi-Fi. Record sound is on. There's also settings here. Press the power button to enter. You can format the memory card, reset the device, and check the version of the software. Right here is the optional Polarizer Lens you can install onto the Dashcam. To install this, you want to match the angle of this Polarizer Lens with the lens that's on the Dashcam. Push this on, and now it's installed. Now at the bottom, there are two lines. You want to make sure these two lines are aligned. And the benefit of having a polarizer lens is to reduce glare, and this is helpful for both daytime and nighttime videos. Now one nice thing about this polarizer lens is if you want to quickly remove it, the lens itself is actually held on magnetically to the angle base, and when you're ready to put it back on, just place it back onto the base. This is 70mm Hardwire Kit. Now if you want to use a parking mode recording for this dashcam, it's also called the Sentinel mode, you need to install the Hardwire Kit. On the output cable, you have this USB-C connector that plugs into the power input port of the dashcam. And on the other side of this box, you have the three wires. Yellow wire is ignition 12 volt, red wire is constant 12 volt, and the black wire is chassis ground. With the yellow and the red wire, you need to use fuse taps to tap into your car's fuse box, and that's how it's able to get power when you turn off the ignition. Now this box you see here has a voltage monitor. When the car battery reaches a certain voltage, it'll cut off the output to the dash cam so you don't drain the car battery so low you cannot start it. This dash cam also has the ability to do 4G cellular remote monitoring. If you want this function, then you need to purchase this 70mm 4G Hardwire Kit and a SIM card with data plan. Now in the box it does tell you that it works with AT&T. If you use other service provider, you're going to have to try it out and see if it works. For my testing, I'll be using a T-Mobile SIM card, and it seems to work fine. But keep in mind, 70mm only recommends AT&T. There's a PIN key you need to use to access the SIM card tray. And right here is the user manual. Right here is the output cable that you connect to the USB-C connector here. The other end of the cable you need to connect to the power input port on the dash cam. Now on the input side of this box, you also have three wires here, just like the Hardwire Kit. You have the yellow wire for ignition 12 volt, red wire for constant 12 volt, and the black wire for chassis ground. So you need to hardwire this into your fuse box. On the side of this box, you have a SIM card tray. Using the included key, you open up the SIM card tray. Here I'll install the SIM card. So let's take this to the car, get it installed, and we'll check out the various functions on this dashcam. To install the dashcam, remove the backing on double-sided tape, and then stick this directly onto the windshield. Here I've connected the rear camera cable already. Next, connect the power cable. Use either the cigarette lighter power cable or the Hardwire cable. For this install, I'll be using the Hardwire cable. Route both power cable and the rear camera cable up to the headliner, over to the A-pillar. Pull back on the weather stripping here. Now with the rear camera cable, I'm going to route this behind the side curtain airbag you see right here. Run the power cable along the side down here. Here I have the rear camera cable that I ran from the front all the way to the back following the headliner. Next I'll route this cable along this weather stripping to the middle of the vehicle. With the rear camera, remove the backing on double-sided tape and then stick this directly onto the back window. With the cable from the rear camera, tuck underneath the weather stripping. Connect the cable from the rear camera to the rear camera cable. Tuck any extra cable you have behind the headliner. And if you're installing the 4G Hardwire Kit, right here is a USB-C power cable from the dash cam that I ran along the side. I need to plug this USB-C connector into this box. And with this other cable on this box, you need to hardwire this to the fuse box. To find out which fuse you can use for ignition 12 volt and constant 12 volt, you should look at the cover of your fuse box. So for example, on this vehicle, the power socket accessory 1 is ignition 12 volt, and then the electrical parts bat 2 is constant 12 volt. Now I'm going to remove this and then plug the original fuse into this bottom slot. So on this vehicle, I'll need to plug this fuse tap in this direction. Voltage is going to come in on the right side, go through the fuse, and go out on the left side. Crimp the red 12 volt constant power wire to the fuse tap. Remove that 20 amp fuse. Install it into the fuse tap. Go ahead and plug the fuse tap into the fuse panel. Now crimp the yellow ignition wire to this fuse tap. Now I can close this up. For the black ground wire, I'll connect it to a grounding bolt underneath the hood release. With everything wired up, I'll turn on the ignition. The dash cam will power on and begin recording both the front and rear camera simultaneously. Now this dashcam does respond to voice commands. For example, I can say things like, take photo, turn off audio, record audio, switch rear view. Now showing you the rear camera view. Switch front view. Capture left. Capture right. Capture inside. Camera reset. Here I open up the 70My app. I'll connect to it. Now make sure the Wi-Fi hotspot is enabled on the dash cam. Right here is a live view of the front camera. Select this icon here. We'll switch over to the rear view. With the initial setup, while looking at the live view, you can adjust the angle of the camera. Now go into settings. Under the Smart Travel, select ADAS. With this calibration, you want to tilt the front camera so the front of the hood lines up with this red dotted line. Here you'll calibrate the horizontal angle. Basically, you want the front camera to be centered in the middle. You can use the left and right arrow key to adjust it.
Alarm disabled. Start calibrating ADAS. Please keep the driving speed above 40 km per hour or 25 miles per hour.
The last step, you'll need to drive the vehicle at 40 km per hour so that the ADAS can complete the auto calibration. Here I'll show you some examples of the ADAS warning system.
Vehicle ahead motion detected. Caution, front car. Attention to pedestrians.
With the hardwire cable installed, now I can enable the parking mode recording, and with this dashcam it's called the Sentinel mode. Collision detection. I'll turn this on. You can also set the sensitivity of the G sensor. Right now it's set to medium. I'll also turn on motion detection. Now the time-lapse recording is off by default. If you do want to do time-lapse recording for the parking mode, you can enable this. Vehicle battery protection. Here you can set the cutoff voltage for the car battery monitoring system, so when it drops to one of these voltage level, it will automatically cut off the output power to the dashcam to prevent the car battery from draining so low that you cannot start your car. With the Sentinel mode enabled, once I turn off the ignition, the dashcam will go into parking mode recording.
Entering the Sentinel mode.
At this time, if there are any motion detection or collision detection events, the dashcam will automatically record those events. Now I can simulate an impact to the vehicle by hitting my A-pillar. That flashing ring light tells you it's recording the events. Also with the motion detection, it uses AI to identify people and track that person using the rotating camera. This is a really nice feature because it's able to cover a much wider field of view with what's happening in front of your vehicle. If you install the 4G Hardwire Kit, you need to set that up. On the main page of the app, you need to select the menu button right here. Next, select Manage 4G Module. Right now it's unbound. Here it tells you to insert a SIM card, which I've done already. Select Next. Here it tells you to connect the Hardwire Kit to your dashcam. Now there's a LED on that 4G module. If you want to know what the status of the LED means, select the status description at the bottom here. Here it'll tell you what the blinking red and blinking green means. Here I'm going to start the vehicle. Now select Start. Here it tells you the system will automatically configure the APN according to the installed SIM card, and also make sure the Bluetooth on your phone is enabled. Select OK. Now the 4G module is bound successfully. Here you see the Manage 4G module is bound. At the bottom you do have the option to unbind this device if you want to. On the main page of the app, here you see the 70My dashcam shows 4G online. And with the 4G connection, you have the ability to do remote surveillance, vehicle location, alarm center, and battery detection. Let's take a look at the remote surveillance. This live view you're looking at is a car parked in my garage. You can go back. Vehicle location. This will show you the location of your vehicle. Battery detection. Here's a log of when the vehicle started and when the vehicle was shut off. And currently the voltage is 13.4 volt. As you can see with this 4G connection, you can now monitor everything happening to your vehicle anywhere you have cellular data connection. Definitely a game changer when it comes to car dash camera. To view and download the recorded video, select Album. Right now you're looking at the categories of recording. You have all videos, emergency videos, parking surveillance. So let's select all videos. Here's a list of all the recorded videos. You can select one of the video clip to play back. At the bottom you have the option to download the video or delete it. I'll select download. Now it's downloading this video from the dashcam to my phone. Now these are the front camera videos. If you want to look at the rear camera, select the extended camera at the top here. Right here are the rear camera videos. Just like the front video, you can download it or delete it. Now let me show you some of the video recordings from the dashcam. This first one here is the daytime recording. The image quality is excellent. You can easily read the license plates in front of you and also road signs on the street. Also, the exposure, contrast, and white balance is very good. This is a front and rear camera view. As you can see, the dashcam will record both cameras simultaneously. So if someone was to hit you from behind, this dashcam will capture the incident. This is a nighttime recording, and just like the daytime recording, the image quality is very good. The night vision video on this dashcam works very well. Even with very little ambient street light, is able to capture a very good clear video. I also noticed with a nighttime video, you can actually read the license plates in front of you. This is something that most dashcams cannot do because the headlight that's shining on the plate will usually overexpose that area. But this dashcam does an excellent job with the high dynamic range of the video. And here are some of the recordings from the parking mode. This first one here is a motion detection event. The dashcam identified the people in front of the vehicle, and it panned over to the driver's side and recorded this video. Now if you select the time-lapse recording, this is what it looks like. This video you're seeing is recorded at 15 frames per second. Overall, this 70mm 4K Omni dashcam is an excellent performer. It's packed with all the features you'd want. I really like the fact the front camera can pan left and right, giving you full coverage while you're driving and when it's parked. With a voice command, operating this dashcam is very simple. You can tell it to record what's happening on the left or right. You can even have the camera point to the inside and record the inside of the car. Now at the time of this review, you can get this dashcam for $280. I'll also include the links for the Hardwire Kit and the Polarizer Lens. If you're in the market for a dashcam, definitely check this out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. To support this channel, remember to click on thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of new videos.